Sometimes the world just needs a hero to help cut through all the noise.
Well, now you have two.
Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to yet another episode of Your Heroes of Noise. I'm one half of this dynamic duo. My name is Steve.
My name is Dan. Welcome to episode 148. Good morning, everyone. It's probably afternoon where you are. Everyone listens on the East Coast, Steve. You know that? That's the majority of our listenership is on the East Coast and in different countries and stuff like that. So good afternoon or happy Saturday or whatever the fuck it is. Welcome to the show, ladies and gentlemen. Seems like it's been a while, Steve. I don't know why. I know it's been like just like a hair over a week, but it feels like it's been a while since I've talked to you, my friend.
We don't talk during the week because Dan is a busy man.
You don't send me flowers anymore. You know
is that a song?
It is a song, but it's also a fact.
That's true. Anymore is a strong statement, though.
You've never sent me flowers, and I've been meaning to talk to you about it, sir.
That is a strong statement. Yeah, I mean, you know, it's funny. I always assume in my brain that you're busy. Let me tell you why I think you're busy. Because, people, ladies and gentlemen, Dan isn't a texter, people. And so sometimes...
That's not true.
Okay.
You know why? Okay. I'm a texter, but you have to understand what kind of a texter you are.
Uh-huh.
You are most of the time I'll get like a sounds good. I might get a LOL. If I'm lucky, I might get a LOOOOOL with an exclamation point.
That's untrue.
But 90% of the time, it's going to be a GIF.
Oh yeah, for sure. But I understand, like, if you try to engage, I think you're a phone person, not a texting person.
Sometimes with you, but only because of like past conversations through text where all of a sudden you're mad at me. I don't know why.
I do not. Here's Dan. Well, you should shut up, you ugly varmint. And I'd call him and be like, what's that? He's like, oh, you took that wrong.
So now I'm Yosemite Sam. And I text you. Well, maybe you should shut up, you ornery varmint.
But yeah, it feels like I haven't talked to you in a minute. I always learn new things that are happening in your life. I'm like, wow, that's new. I didn't know that, but it's because we don't talk that way.
Yeah, and you know, I want to publicly address this, Steve, since this is in the main feed. We tried this once before under the same circumstances of that people might be calling in for this show. I don't know if it's going to happen. We'll see. We're still playing around with the whole Riverside FM thing, but I told you before, I feel like we should be talking more, man. I don't ever want it just to become the thing where it's like, hey, podcast. All right, I'll talk to you in a week. Because if that happens, the magic goes away, sir.
Yeah, you know, it's funny. It's very true. And I imagine I've heard other podcasts go that way.
Yeah.
And I've seen other podcasts go that way where it's just like, hey, what have you been doing this week? I'm like, oh, they legit don't know. They're catching up on the podcast.
So it leads me to ask this question.
Uh-huh.
So, okay, let's go back like, I don't know, year and a half maybe.
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't doing so fantastic about a year and a half ago. Mentally, I was not in a good place.
Yeah.
And maybe that's why you actually, what is going on? What do you hear that?
Yeah.
Hold on. There, okay. Whoever you are, you're muted for now. All right, so what was I saying? See, this is what happens. Every time I start talking about it, someone comes in. But then again, it's my fault because I'm the one that putting out the link. But I'm just letting you know. Like, I think that a year and a half ago, you were like checking on me like daily. You all right over there? I'd get one of those like probably twice a day. You all right over there? And I'd be like,
yeah, because I had to. Now you're okay over there.
Am I though, Steve? How do you know?
Because I talked to you enough to know that everything's fine. I talked to you enough to know you're doing fine. Everyone has their glitches, but it wasn't glitching like a year and a half ago.
Okay.
No.
Yeah, no, you're right. You're right.
Yeah.
You're right. I'm still though, Steve. I'm a sensitive guy. You know what I mean? And I think that you should be there for me more.
Absolutely. And you know what? You're totally... Even though Mr. Brand New Wonderful, you know what?
Oh,
dude,
stop it!
Mr.
Don't.
Hey, here I got a question for you.
What?
Have you used the paddle shifters?
No.
I don't know how to use those still to this day.
Gee, I'm gonna disclose information that's gonna make me look even worse than I already.
No.
What do you think I'm about to say?
Okay, I'm gonna say.
Hold on. By the way, I think I know who's on the other end here, but I have you muted right now. But just hang out if you want to listen in. We'll get to you. All right, go ahead.
Let me think. What could you possibly be saying about the new? Oh man, it's going to be something.
Well, regarding what you just asked me,
have you used the? Okay, I don't know what.
I am not solid in stick shift.
Really?
I never learned. I could figure it out.
So if I gave you an old bug, you're stuck.
No, I get the whole. Don't get me wrong. I get the whole idea of it, and I just haven't really done it.
Really?
I think I've done it like when I was really young, but it kind of sounded like. Oh
no, Dan! If I put you in an old bug, you wouldn't be able to make it out of the parking lot. If you're not very good at stick shift. That would be a fantastic video.
Well,
my God.
But here's the deal. I'm afraid to do it in this new car. Because if that car makes the sound.
Oh, no, but your car doesn't have a clutch.
That's true.
Yeah, that wouldn't happen because your car is going to automatically shift.
I'm just outing myself even more.
No. The only thing that makes the other grinding sound is because the clutch, you have to engage the gears. And some people don't do it, or they'll do it in the middle and be like,
okay, well, then here's another way of looking at it.
Mm-hmm.
Even though it's not making a sound and there's no clutch, what am I doing if I'm doing it wrong? Holy son of a bitch, look who's here. Fucking Fob Roris in the house, man. Oh my God. All right, Rob, we were in the middle of something here, but this is important because I was not expecting you to show up, sir. So I was in the process of, we were talking about stick shifts and friendships and shit like that, are all over the place. But more importantly, ladies and gentlemen, you may go, do me a favor, just hit pause for a second. And I want you to either go to the website or just look on your phone at this magnificent logo that we have, this wonderful Heroes of Noise logo. All right, you there? You looking at it? It's fucking dope, right? You want to know who did it? This guy right here, Rob fucking Forrest. Sir, how are you?
Okay, how you doing?
Doing well, man. It's weird because we've talked so much online, but I'm going to go ahead and say it. It's nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too.
This guy, look at this handsome lad.
Look at this guy. We got a bald head up in here, like 2 bald heads now. I love it. So what's up, man?
I can't see you guys.
Oh yeah, we're ugly. We turned off the cam thing. Yeah, I can't even talk right now. I'm just looking at your beautiful face. No, we turned it off because not to bore, but it kind of fucks with the bandwidth and makes things go a little wonky. So that's why.
Gotcha.
Yeah, but you're good if you want to keep it on. That's fine. I'll just stare at you uncomfortably. So what's up, man?
Nothing. I just popped on. I didn't even know I'd be able to comment. I thought you said I would just be able to listen in.
Well, I think I might have messed up, Rob. We're still trying to figure this thing out. And there's like different links you can send. There's an audience link that you can send where, like I said, you should just be like listening in. And if you like type something, we can respond to it. I think I may have went with the guest link instead. No big deal.
Okay.
It's all right.
Okay.
Matter of fact, real quick, let me just check in real fast here. Hold on. Let's see who's on the other line here, Steve. Holy Jesus. Hello?
Can you hear me?
Okay. Sort of, kinda. It sounds like you're in a metal factory or something.
Well, funny you should say that because that is something I do.
What's going on, man? I was going to be talking to you. I'm glad that you patched in here, but this is what we're going to do. I think I kind of fucked this up a little bit, so we're going to pop out for just a bit. If you want to hang out, cool. Dan, I want to talk to you about something. You know what I want to talk to you about, sir. So, if you don't mind, we're going to just patch out for just a second, okay?
Cool.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, this is just a work in progress here. I don't know. Let's see. Do we just do it here? Let's see. There we go. Oh, look at, he did it for me. Fucking helpful. All right, Forrest. What's going on, man? Uh-oh. Did we mute Rob? Oh, Rob's muted now. Hold up, Rob. You're muted.
All right, there we go. Sorry.
No problem.
Sorry.
No problem.
I was just, I'm working right now, actually.
Oh,
and
snap.
I saw your link and I said, hey, let me jump on and see what's up.
Now, Rob, I want to give you some love here, man, because you really do good work. You are a fantastic,
genius.
Fantastic graphic artist. Let's see some of the things that you guys might know him from. If you look at Pop Culture Leftovers new logo, that's Rob right there. Not Picardcast. I'm sorry. Smorgasborg, another one, another fantastic logo. I'm a little jealous of that logo, Rob. I'm gonna be honest with you. That's a dope ass logo. And then who else? Am I missing anyone?
The book girls.
Yes, 2 book girls. I have
That's
to make sure
great logo.
Yeah, it is. I have to make sure I
Jesus.
say that right. I literally called it Two Girls, One Book one time, and I did. I didn't mean
That's
to.
a whole different thing.
Yeah, it's a whole different thing. It's probably a lot cleaner too. But yeah, that's fantastic work too, man. And then of course, if you guys are on the community, you might have seen multiple instances of Steve fighting things. That's Rob too. So
He is a genius, dude.
Yeah,
Genius.
yeah, seriously. Hey, bro, do you want to like put your name out there, or where people can get a hold of you if they want to get some work done? Am I putting you in a position where you're not taking on work right now, and I'm just making it difficult?
No, I'm taking on work. Sure. Yeah, you could just hit me up at Forest Graphics, 2 R's, forestgraphics@gmail.com.
There it is, ladies and gentlemen. I'm telling you, check it out. If you guys need solid work, do it. Rob's the man.
Oh, genius work is what I call it.
So you're just always trying to outdo me, Steve.
I'm
That's
just
all
saying,
it was.
It's genius. It's
It was a
not
perfectly fine compliment that I gave him, and you just want to make
solid.
it.
What I'm saying is that it's a genius job, is what I'm saying.
Okay, fair enough.
Thank you, sir.
Like I was gonna try to learn how to do Photoshop, and then I saw Fob Royce, and I was like, why would I try? Why would I try? It's no point when I could just email him, skip it. I'm done.
For real. Yeah, like I pretty much did everything for the podcast until I met Rob, and now it's like, well, why would I do that? Because my shit looks like so amateur in comparison. And we have to progress, Steve. We're a growing show.
Also,
we're a budding show.
if you want someone to fight on behalf of WandaVision, this is the man.
Oh.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. See,
On that yet or no?
I got to where someone gets spit out of the alternate reality and says it's all her, and
yeah.
I was like, okay, I'm still not there yet.
So what episode would that be? Like 4?
5 maybe 4.
That seems a little.
If it's 4 or 5, you should be on board by now.
Yeah, dude. It's either you're.
Yeah,
on
that's what
board
I'm
or
saying.
you're
I'm just
not.
like, it's fine. It's not. Everyone is just going nuts, and I'm just like, this is not one of my favorite Marvel things I've ever seen.
It's no
I think
legends.
it just keeps getting better and better.
Yeah,
Think
me
so?
too, man. Oh yeah, especially. Did you see last night's episode?
No, I'm not even caught up that far yet.
Rob, have you seen it or today's episode?
Yeah, I watched it. I watched it this morning.
Jesus Christ, Steve.
Freaking awesome.
Come on, Steve. Get on board, dude.
I'm trying,
If I
man.
can wake up and smell the coffee.
It may be the thing that I'm just not there for.
But I.
Well, you got to continue it anyway because it's going to matter when you.
That's
know,
the thing. I
moving
have to
forward.
finish. I have to continue just so I'm in the loop. But I don't know how. I don't know if I'm going to be woofing on it like everyone's woofing on it.
Did you saw that there was another post-credit scene, right?
Yes. Yeah, Steve, you're gonna
Very
have like.
important one.
Yeah, you're gonna have this like massive gap if you don't really like lock into this one. I think this is. I don't know. I mean, like, there's people out there that can talk a lot more MCU than I can.
Yeah,
But
absolutely.
But to be fair, I think this is something that is it's a jump off point for so much to come. And it's I don't know how Feige's going to work it all out, but he doesn't do things on accident. I think this is all on purpose.
No.
And it's going to unfold, brother, and you got to be there for it.
I believe this is just, I think this is the most cerebral they've done, where it's just like either you're on or you're off. And I'm like, wow, this is different from Marvel. I mean, they went in my opinion, I will state, even if it ends up being a great show, they did too much with the old TV stuff. I think they went an ep too long.
Well, you know what? I think this episode actually, even though for me, like, I'm already like, okay, I kind of know where this is going and why she's doing this, or why the episodes are coming out this way, where it's going year to year or decade to decade. There's a lot that's explained in this one that kind of made me go, okay, well, now they've given us, like, they've wrapped it in a little bow for us, for the people that don't really reach into it. Now you should understand completely.
Yeah. I mean, I thought I was the only one that wanted a Martin decade, but a bunch of people on Twitter made Martin in WandaVisions, and I was like, there we go. I'm not the only one that would have been like, oh, I'm in.
How do you think, realistically, Steve, how do you think that would have gone if if they would have done Martin? I don't think that would have gone very well.
I
bro.
think if Rambo was in there, it would have gone fine.
But what if Rambo wasn't in there?
You still can do it. You can still do the style where people that knew what they're doing would be like, oh, snap, they're doing it. If they would have killed it, they would have been like, oh, fight, it's over. It's over. No one else can do it. Would make anyone else trying to do something in the distant realm of it, no one could ever do it again because they did it so well. But if you mess up, whoo-hoo.
Well, I tell you, if they went the Martin route, it would have been better, definitely better than going the Cosby route.
Woo!
Oof.
Listen.
Oof.
Listen. God, that's still something I got to get used to. And with this new, with this new Woody Allen documentary, I think the crap's about to hit the fan like crazy.
Oh, I'm not aware there's a Woody Allen. I would probably watch a Woody Allen documentary, but I'd never watch a Woody Allen film.
Oh no, there's a documentary coming out where they're unleashing the fire.
Good.
I mean, we all knew though. You don't date your stepdaughter, and you're just a normal person. Yes,
never said it was normal.
Oh, dude, that was a really good Woody Allen.
Sun Yi, she's
a really good Woody Allen.
A quote unquote hot piece of ass.
Jesus. Shoot.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on in Woody's brain, bro. But crazier things have happened, I guess.
Hey, Daniel, are you still in that metalworking shop?
How's this? Is this better?
That's
actually a pretty big improvement, bro.
Hey man, that's my life.
What's going on, dude?
Decided to take a little short break. It's a very busy day, but when I see the heroes are live, I try to patch in because I'm not patient.
I like that,
man. We're gonna try and figure it out to like eventually. Maybe it's when I clean my room. We'll actually go live video, and we'll do it like on the website, or if not the website, at least Facebook. We're trying to figure this all out.
Make a green screen.
We actually paused getting onto this live stream only because Dan was looking for your song, G.
That's true. And I'm having some trouble. I'm trying to pull it up right now, but this is a perfect segue, Steve.
You could not. He was like, "Where can I find Daniel's music?" I was like, "Bandcamp."
I have questions, Daniel.
Talk to me.
I feel like I'm gonna. Okay, I've already admitted that I don't really know how to drive stick today, so I'm not gonna lose. I'm not gonna gain any more points on this episode. However, I feel like I'm about to be an idiot. How the hell do you say your the moniker you're going under for this new work that you just put out?
It's just all letters. VXDEDXV.
Okay, so VXDEDXV.
That's me.
I got to tell you, man, I'm super impressed with this new one, dude. Good God, man. Like, how much talent do you possess? Is it infinite? Are you almost done? I don't know, but you're fucking killing it on this, dude. I love this new stuff.
Dude, what a shocking question. That felt so good in my heart. Thank you.
I mean, dude, you should be proud of yourself, dude. And it seems like you have this ability to spit out work so quickly.
Oh.
It's crazy.
How long have you been working on this? And do you want to tell us a little bit about it? And we got you on, dude. And I actually would love if you would tell these people about this, where they can find you, what you've been doing.
I'm on all the socials at VXDEDXV. This has been about 6 years in the making.
Oh.
So On the Clock came out in 2015. I had an indie deal with a label called Hypergiant Records. They weren't able to continue. So my hip hop stuff was kind of stagnant at about 15, 16 maybe 2017 when they disbanded. But Farouk was fully turned up. So I was still making songs, but not because I had to, just because I felt like it. And Farouk has been on a tear since 2017 when we started touring more regularly. We got a deal, so we were having to put out music for them. And being the frontman and the booker and the manager for Farouk and working very closely with Glacier Recordings, my solo stuff just kind of took a back seat because I felt like I had a responsibility to my dudes in Farouk,
Sure.
JD Garza happened. So I produced his work. That came out relatively quickly, like in perspective to when we started working together. What's
it called again? Is it Into the Wild?
Into the Woods?
No.
Yeah.
Into the Woods, sorry.
Yeah, so I co-produced and co-wrote that with him and mixed and mastered it with Javi, our engineer, who is just brilliant and so easy to work with. And, there's this guy named Steve Hudson who never let me give up on stuff like that. But I wanted his music out first because I'd been listening to his music on Dropbox, and I hate Dropbox, and I'm like, I need this. So,
I don't know why you hate Dropbox.
So, we partnered with On Captain Recordings to get that going.
You guys are on a label. You're both on a label. That's pretty fucking dope.
Yeah, just a little indie thing. But, Javi,
I like it, though.
Javi, my engineer, one of our good friends, Ernie, and my lady, Erin, all had been listening to these songs for the past 6 years and being like, what are you doing? why aren't these out? And so, luckily I listened to them and put them out because like this getting such great feedback, it's really kind of turning my world around. It's kind of tight because these songs were very difficult to put out. They're very personal, some of them. And
lyrically, dude, I'm really impressed lyrically with what you're talking about. Like, it's not something where there's sometimes I'll listen to music and I'll just kind of let even like the main vocals just almost like blend in together with the background and it's just all one entity. But with you, and I know that's how it's meant to be, of course, I find myself listening, not that the beats aren't great or anything like that, but I find myself really like listening to what you're saying and it's deep, dude. Like, I mean, you have a real way with words.
I appreciate that.
Now, do you write your lyrics down, bruh?
Some of them.
Oh, okay. Interesting.
Sometimes, and that's with Farouk too. Sometimes I'll just think it up, arrange it in my head, and then perform it.
I normally go verse by verse, and for me, I don't write it down. You're like, okay, what goes with this? And then you just do the next line.
Yeah.
Some people write the whole thing and could just do the whole thing. I'm like, man, that's difficult for me. Because by the time I'm done, I feel a different way and want to rewrite everything.
Yeah. I've done it a bunch of different ways. Sometimes it's a voice memo. I'll write whole verses or whole songs while driving in my head and then just voice memo the whole thing.
Killing, dude. Do you ever complain to Hobby about, hey, my headphones is too low?
Well, we actually kept in a lot of the shit I complained to Hobby about in the records.
You guys, man, Dan, you need to go visit Daniel's studio one day.
Sorry, I was actually trying to pull something up here for reference, but I would love to, man. But I just don't like show up on people's porches like, hey, what's up? Uninvited.
You know, that's true.
And that wasn't like a subtle hint or anything. I'm just saying, like, when the time comes, I'll be there. But hey, I wanted to talk about something, Daniel, real quick. Is it me, or did you like low key put in the lyrics to Owning It on this one?
On part 2, on Owned It.
Yeah.
It's completely a reimagining of the song.
But it's not the whole thing, right? It's just the first lyric.
No, it's basically a second version of the song where I'm showing the vulnerability. Like Owning It from Farouk was about my anger and my fight, and Owned It with VXDEDXV is like a personal me taking accountability for my feelings and being vulnerable. That's why I'm singing, which I don't do,
Right.
And it's basically an abridged version lyrically of the Farouk song. And I got that instrumental from my buddy Arthur Bueno, who did all the guitars on my previous album, On the Clock. And I was thinking about what to do with it, and I felt like singing, and I'm like, well, I don't have any words in my head to sing right now. So I just started singing Farouk lyrics. And that just fit perfectly the first time I did it. And so I just kept reworking it. I showed it to Javi. Javi was into it. So like if Javi digs it, then that's like all I need in life. So that's how it went. And then I showed it to Erin. She cried, and now it's a thing. But it's completely all the Farouk lyrics just kind of rearranged.
So how happy are you with the release, man? Are you proud? Like when was the moment where you went, you know what? I'm done. This is it.
Before it got to Javi, I think I sent the I'm done versions to Steve, but it wasn't like, yes, I'm done. It was like, you know what? I'm done. Like, it was a different kind of connotation on it. And, dude, I hadn't been working on it for 6 years. I've been working on it for maybe 2 or 3 years. The songs existed, but weren't getting any work done on them.
They're just living in your brain, rent free.
Well, in my Google Drive.
Mm-hmm.
Steve has probably gotten 10 versions of certain songs.
And I told him that Owning It was my favorite song. I said, this is the one. It's over. Next question. That was it. I texted him immediately. He was like, well, this is the one. This is it. And I didn't know it was a reimagining until he sent me the original. And I was like, oh, snap.
Yeah, it's like
this is the one.
It's like a 3-part saga. I had a song on Farouk's first album called Owned. The Farouk song on Heat was called Owning It, and then this one's the final, and it's called Owned It. And it's like, yo, I'm here.
It's such a dope song. That's the one. For me, it's the one.
So no more rapping? Is that what you're saying?
Well, I'm saying that now you have to go, you have to go above and beyond now, man. This is like your Thriller. Now
I
you have
don't
to
I don't
beat Thriller.
appreciate you pushing me to be better because like I can't taste my own medicine. I don't like it.
You got to keep going, man.
Yeah.
You got to put out better. Well, you know what? You got to put out stuff that, hopefully improves on whatever you've done in the past. That's all you can do.
Well, if I'm
That's all
working
you
with
can do.
you and JD and Javi, that's going to be easy. But to answer your question, Dan, my bad. I think what was really it is I took the songs to Javi because he gave me some feedback on my final mixes and masters. And I was like, dude, I agree with you on all these things, but I don't have the muscle to get this done. Like it's up over my head, and that's not over Javi's head. So we hung out the day it got submitted. He fixed it all. We hit the button on it. We submitted it that Sunday when you got news of it. And it was that moment where I was like, all right, it's done. And I hit the ground running. I started sharing it with people. Getting your feedback was gigantic. Steve's feedback is always crucial to me because he's like my Miyagi. And, it was.
Is it on iTunes
Yeah,
and Bandcamp?
that's my question. Like, is it actually out, or were we privileged to get it? Because I wanted to play it, but I'm having trouble finding it at the moment. And I'm sure sometimes it takes time to get these things up and running. So
No, it's on your Google Drive. I sent it to a few select people before it came out.
okay,
and
just so you're aware, I didn't mean to cut you off, but just so you're aware, I actually tried to access Google Drive right now, and it said it wasn't there. That could be on my end, but I'm just letting you know.
I wonder what version I gave you.
No worries, it's okay. But here's the deal: like it's out right to where people can now purchase, or
So it actually hits all of the streaming sites on March 1st.
March 1st. All right, so Monday.
I was requested that I put it on Bandcamp by another old friend of mine. So I did it, and Bandcamp gives us the ability to preview tracks. So
All right.
Oh, that's why you use Bandcamp.
Yes.
That makes sense.
I've had a Bandcamp for years. I just didn't use it. And so
Okay.
I have a few people who I guess have stuck by me since my old stuff, like my original music. And they were like, is it going to be on Bandcamp? And I was like, what's a Bandcamp? I had to reset my password and everything.
All right. So that's okay. So then I'm accurate in saying that it's not out yet, but I have a request for you.
Talk to me.
I would love to play a song at the end of this episode. I obviously could ask you this off mic, but would you mind sending me the song that we were talking about that features one S.E. Hudson?
Yeah, I actually just resent you the whole drive.
I just heard it right now. Okay, cool. So I will be putting a song at the end of this podcast so you can hear VXDEDXV in all of its glory. And then you can just go out on Monday and buy that shit on your streaming platform of choice. Is it going to be do they still make CDs? Steve, do you like CDs? I'm just kidding. Daniel, go ahead. I'm sorry. I apologize.
I don't think CDs happen until there's shows, like until we could perform.
Oh, gotcha. Okay. All right,
you can do LPs too.
Ooh, now that would be dope.
Look at this guy.
Because I'm in the process of looking for a turntable, and I would love to have that in my. You too, though, could do vinyl, Steve.
Totally. I think we'd have to I have a feel. I think here's the tough thing about vinyl. I don't know if Daniel will be okay with the sound of the vinyl. Like he would have to be like, well, now I got to redo all the mixing and mastering for vinyl now. I'm like, okay, all right.
That's when we tag in Javi. He's the real brain.
You wouldn't want to just put this master on vinyl?
What was that?
You wouldn't want to just put the master on vinyl, or you would want to be like, nope, we got to redo it to put it on vinyl.
I mean, I'd want to kind of see what they need, because those services, they require the data to be certain ways, and they require levels to be certain ways. So, like, I'd want to see kind of what their specs are to make sure that we're in tune with that. Pun intended.
Well, the thing is, Farouk should have been on vinyl, though. Your album covers and crap, that should be a vinyl album. You're bugging.
And if you can do like the double thing where you open it up, it's got like the little centerfold in the middle.
Oh, come on.
I mean, not of you, Daniel. No offense. I'm just saying like something evil, fiery would be kind of dope.
Well, those things were costly, and it was discussed when we got with Glacier, like if we wanted vinyl, and I still kicking myself, but I said no, because we're a traveling band in California who mostly tours during the summer, and carrying vinyl was something that we didn't have the bandwidth for.
I'm with you. I'm with you.
You know what I mean? So it was just,
I'm totally with you.
there's certain moments where you have to, worry about the financials and the logistics over the dopeness of having a vinyl in your hand.
All right. Well, before we
never too late for stuff like that, though.
Yeah. Before we let you go, I got a quick lightning round for you, Dan.
Uh-oh.
Real quick, I want to know. Okay, number one, favorite artist of all time.
Timbo.
Oh snap! I did not expect that. I did not expect that. I knew I was so far away from what you were gonna say. Timbo, huh?
It's either Timbo or Pharrell.
We just talked about him, didn't we? Because you need to rebuy that CD, by the way.
Okay, I have to get it imported.
dude. That freaking album. Anyway, favorite music video of all time.
Super Duper Fly, Missy Elliott.
That's a solid freaking answer, dude.
That really is.
That is a solid freaking answer, dude.
Change the game.
It changed the freaking game. Favorite song of all time.
Ooh. Of all time. Shit. Maybe Perseverance by Hatebreed.
Dan, are you familiar with Hatebreed?
I'm familiar with Jasta and crew. Yes.
Damn.
I've seen Hatebreed before.
Or Dreaming in Dog Years by the Red Chord. Ooh, there's so many. Don't do this to me.
Yeah, I'm impressed that you were able to pull something up so quickly. I'm just like, yeah, I'll have to get back to you on all three of these.
I'm just thinking of something that I've listened to like for most of my life that's really helped me. And it's those things.
Okay. Okay. Favorite concert you've ever been to?
Ray Charles at the Fresno Fair.
You saw Ray Charles?
Yep, cried my eyes out. I was 17.
Jesus, dude. I'm learning a lot about Daniel today. All right. Favorite movie of all time?
Crap. The old Drunken Master with Jackie Chan, but it's the dubbed version before the English version that came out like later in the early 2000s. This was like in the 80s. I think it's called Legend of the Drunken Master, but I had it on VHS. I bought it from Long's Drugs.
Oh my God,
Long's Drugs. Throwback. We'll be talking about Zodies pretty soon.
Uh-oh.
Woolworths.
What about Alpha Beta?
Alpha Beta. Bro, let me tell you about Alpha Beta real quick, because when we were kids, right?
Yes.
Do you remember their awesome shopping carts?
No.
They had the best shopping carts because when you're like a little G, you could get at the into the bottom of it and sit there while mom and dad pushes you around. Yeah, it was dope.
I used to love Alpha Beta.
Shout out to Alpha Beta.
Oh, for sure, dude. I mean, Alpha Beta. Do they still have Save-Ons?
I don't think so.
You remember Save-On?
I do.
Okay.
More familiar with Favon, but yes, I do remember.
Oh, nicely done. I like what you did there. All right, Daniel, favorite saying. Like a quote that you're like, this is a quote that I remember and I say it often.
Yo, this lightning round is difficult.
That's a great quote.
I guess I'm being loud. Gail's like, she just texted me and she's like, I loved Alpha Beta shopping carts. I'm like, yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, we got to go back to that. I'm going to do a whole episode on Alpha Beta shopping carts.
Alpha carts.
Daniel, I wish you nothing but the best of success with this EP, Drew. I'm really happy for you. Thank you for allowing me to be one of the privileged few to listen to it first. And just know that we're going to put a song on at the end of this here. And then, of course, community is going to back you. You know this.
Absolutely.
Man, I feel the love. It's crazy. I really do.
Absolutely. And also, don't log off. We're just muting you, but stay on.
Oh, yeah. I'll be listening.
All right, man.
Yeah, you're more than welcome to, man. Yeah, cool. All right.
Thank you much. Yeah, I'll be off now. Well, I'll be listening, but yeah, it's time to get back to work.
All right, brother. Cheers.
Much love, man.
Peace.
All right, Hudson.
I should give you a lightning round, Dan.
Is it going to be those questions?
No, I'm going to have a new question.
Yeah, I thought you. Yeah. Let's do it.
Are you ready?
Yeah, of course.
Okay. First poster you ever bought.
Ooh, that's a good one. Okay. All right. You ready?
Oh boy.
You remember was it the Fall Guy? Remember Heather Thomas? No, I'm going to go old school. I'm going to go even more old school than that. My first poster that I ever bought that I can remember, something that I actually, I didn't ask my mom for, I made the effort to go and get said poster. God, I'm old. Suzanne Summers in a bikini.
Oh my goodness. Three's Company?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yep.
But she was a fox.
She was a stone cold
And this was
fox.
pre her going crazy.
Did she go crazy or did she just get older and just older people say stupid shit? Like, I think I'm proof
No,
of
I
that.
think she went a little wild. If I'm not mistaken, she got really conservative.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that happens
If I'm not
sometimes.
mistaken.
That happens
Now,
sometimes.
when you look back, do you think which one, when you look back now, because at the time, I used to think Suzanne was prettier. But when you go back, I would love to see who you think is prettier now.
Janet versus Chrissy?
Yes. Looking back now, I think as an older person, I think Janet.
If I was Jack Tripper, I would probably have been drawn to Chrissy first. However, I think Janet would have won me over.
Dude, Janet was, you look back and like, wow, she was a fit ox.
Yeah, she was dirty. You could tell.
Now, and also one of the best lead character names, Jack Tripper. How good is that name?
But his sidekick, Larry, was the best.
He was
Jack.
fantastic.
He would just like run in. Jack, I got 2 twins. They're Russian twins. We're going to meet them down at the Regal Beagle. He was always lining it up. He was an awesome wingman. And he,
with his with his open shirts.
yeah, he helped Jack get a lot of stank on his down low. And that's
Here's
a
the
good,
thing.
that's a
I'm
good
wondering,
thing.
do
He's
you
a
think
soldier.
Larry, did you think Larry had a big deal? Was a huge
had a what?
influence
Does Larry have a
sorry.
big what?
deal? I was going to say, was he a big influence on Kramer?
On Kramer?
How they-
Maybe, because I don't really recall there being that character that would just
Exactly.
like, rush into a room with like,
Yes.
hey, this is my revelation for today or whatever. Yeah, so probably. Three's
I mean-
Company is a very influential show. And if you guys there's a lot of youngsters out there, but I think it's on, if you have Roku, I think,
Oh, Jesus,
I
really?
think you can watch like all of the Three's Company. Maybe even, now I might be I might be making a falsity here, but I think it might be on like CBS All Access. I don't know, but it's out there and check it out. It's good. It's really, really groovy. And I want a Regal Beagle shirt. I'm looking for one.
Oh, yes.
Yeah,
yes.
I need one of those.
All right, next question.
Yeah,
Most
yeah.
embarrassing
I
moment
forgot
of
we
all-
were in the middle of a quiz.
Most
here.
embarrassing moment you've ever had.
Oh, gee. I've probably already talked about it.
No, you have not.
yes, I think I
Not ever.
Yeah, probably ever. Let's see. Do you want humorous or like that's kind of pathetic?
No, like as in it's sad.
Well, I don't know if I want to disclose everything.
I'm not saying like, oh,
Well, I can tell you that even though it was something where I did nothing wrong, it was just a kind of like a victim of circumstance. Being walked, no, like when you get like laid off, because I got laid off with like 100 other people in a hospital one time, and that is kind of embarrassing. Only because you're walking by your peers, and for some reason, this boss that's always been good with you is like, don't talk to him. You have to shuffle him out, clean out his locker. That was pretty embarrassing. But that's just like kind of a, that's a circumstance. It's boring, right?
Normally. Yeah, not boring.
It is.
It's
No, it is.
sad.
It's sad. It's boring. But the one that I think that, let's see. Okay. So I was probably 19, 20 years old. And I used to be, I think I've told this story before. Did I really do? But I know I've told other people. So I was a courier for this place that I used to work at, this radiology place. And my job was to deliver films and reports to doctors' offices, right?
Uh-huh.
So there was this second floor doctor's office. And so I had to take the stairs. So I go up there and I deliver everything, and I'm coming down. Remember, I'm like 19, 20 years old.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you know this or not. There's this whole subculture of like medical reps that, they're selling you products. They're selling doctors products.
Yes,
and things like that. Well, one common thing with them most of the time is that they tend to be like aesthetically pleasing because it helps. Unfortunately, it's kind of a fucked up world, but that tends to help them get business from what I've understood.
Absolutely.
Okay. So as I'm walking down the stairs, I see 3 med reps down there. We're talking like 5, 10, just beautiful women standing there talking. They all know each other. Of course they do, right? And so young Dan, who was not cool at all, was wearing like probably some, let me paint the picture up a little bit. Maybe I had on some Skechers. Some like
Ain't nothing wrong with Skechers.
No. But when you wear them Skechers that are like the dress shoe Skechers, so I had those on. And then, by the way, very slippery. And so I'm foreshadowing. And then I had on some Levi's Dockers.
Oh, Jesus.
And remember the story? Since we're talking about old stores, remember Mervyn's?
I do.
I was probably
that
wearing
was fairly recent.
Yeah, no, it's in the past, but yeah, I don't think they exist anymore. But I was probably wearing a matching Docker. I had no game because I went from being like stoner kid with long hair and just metal shirts to having to buy something to work and look presentable.
Do you still have that mullet or no?
Gee, speaking of the mullet, like the first wave of short hair was bad because, I mean, not literally, but basically they just cut the long hair and left all the poof.
Yeah.
And I had like poofy hair. Like I didn't have like, it was curly. It wasn't like, like super, anyway, I had like poofy hair. So let's throw that into the mix too. So now I've got like this poof mushroom head looking thing, right? I probably have a couple of zits going on, something like that. But here's the deal. This is the thing. And I've said this before, and I know it kind of sounds like, oh, he's just making it try and sound like a movie, but this literally happened. So I'm walking down the stairs. I see these 3 attractive women, and I'm like, okay, well, they're going to be looking at me because look at how, look how I roll. This is not the case. Yeah, of course, naturally, right? Let me look at this guy. So I'm walking down the stairs, and I my footing gets messed up. So I pull an Aunt Bunny down
down the stairs.
Like probably, and I'm not exaggerating, but you know how like when you think about things in the past, maybe they were a little bit grander in your head. But I would literally say at least 10 steps. At least.
Jesus, dude.
Just so check this out. So while I'm falling, I had just bought this pair of Ray-Bans, right? And they had like the polarized lenses, the glass lenses in them.
Of course you did.
Of course I did. These things fall off of my head. And as if it's poetry, dude, like poetic justice to my dumbass, thinking these people were even looking at me. These glasses fall off my head as I'm falling down. I see them just land like right in front of these girls, not like right at their feet, but like within like, 2-3 feet in front of them. Yeah. Of course they saw the whole thing happen. The glasses land. And then I hear like one of the lenses go clink and like fall out. And I was so embarrassed. I just left the glasses and I just walked out.
That's a great story. I've never heard that story.
Oh God, dude. It was really, really bad.
That is brutal.
It makes me wonder if that's why like I have back problems sometimes. Because that year I was in like this really bad accident for work.
Dude, falling downstairs will definitely be a thing.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure I did a lot of lumbar injury in the 19 and 20 years of my life. But,
yeah. Mm-hmm. I mean, once you say you fell down, you know what's weird, dude?
What's that?
I've heard people say flights instead of steps. They'll be like, I fell down 10 flights of stairs. I'm like, I'm pretty sure you did not do that. You might have fallen down.
Did I say flight of stairs?
No, you did not. No, but I've heard people, it's a common thing. But yeah, if you fall down 10 stairs, Jay, that is going to mess up your back, even though your adrenaline and your embarrassment is running high. So you just get up.
Bingo, G. And that's what it was. I was able just to get up through adrenaline and get to the car. But then, when you get in the car and you're like, I'm so stupid. I'm fucking asshole.
You replay those moments.
I was Philip Seymour Hoffman in Boogie Nights. So stupid.
Dude, that's a great story, actually.
Yeah, that's a true story. No embellishment whatsoever. What do you got next? Now, by the way, do we have time to do this? What we were going to do?
Yes.
Okay, cool. All right, please proceed.
The last question I have for you is going to be a thinker for you. I know this.
Okay.
I would say, what's the easy way to say this question? Biggest fall off of your life, as in a group or band or singer that you loved the most that fell off the hardest and you hated them. As in you can't stand them anymore, but you loved them the most at one point. What was the biggest fall off of your life?
Wow. That's a good question, dude. I won't be generic and say Metallica.
I knew you weren't going to say them because you still like them.
I can't say they've fallen off, dude. They're super successful. They're a massive band, and I have to give them that respect. You know what I mean? So whether or not I care for their music anymore, it doesn't really matter. They have not fallen off. In fact, they're bigger than they ever were.
They're actually legends, dude.
Yeah, they're a legendary rock band for sure. Yeah. So I'm going to go with... Okay, I got it. It's kind of a boring one, but I used to be like, we're talking early 2000s, late 90s, early 2000s. I was into Dave Matthews Band, like his first 3 albums.
You hate him now?
I wouldn't say I hate him. But they did this album called, I think it's called Before These Crowded Streets, Through These Crowded Streets, something like that.
That's the one I heard of, yeah.
And I love that album. I think it's great. But, and it kind of went like, they had like a little, I don't want to say harder, but their music was a little more aggressive on that one, a couple of songs. And I just really thought they were going in a good direction. I'd seen them several times. And I'm not a big jam band guy, but I really appreciated the Dave Matthews Band when I saw the music that I wanted to hear, okay? And then they put out an album called Every Day. And they just completely flipped their sound. And it just
I remember Every Day.
Yeah,
that song was like a single every day.
Yeah, and I hated it. And it's just and then I went to the concert, and it was like they just said, "Hey, you know all those songs that we like." They still play a few hits, but they're like, "You know all the stuff that you loved coming for. Now we're just going to replace it with all this new stuff, all this new material that we have."
Dude,
and on top of that,
brutal.
if you're not, if you're in a bad mood now because we've done this, let's just go ahead and throw in the Black Eyed Peas open up for us.
Oh no!
Where Fergie's mic is too loud. And it just, I don't know.
Oh no!
That was a moment where I was sitting there at it was AT&T Park at the time in San Francisco. And it was just
Dang,
like,
they could fill AT&T Park?
Yeah. Oh yeah, dude. I mean, I think they still could. I don't know how, but they still can. People love them still. But yeah, I just honestly, like from that moment on, I just couldn't do it anymore. And I tried. I bought their next album, and it was just terrible. It's just
that's a bummer, dude.
But people are going to strongly,
a good choice.
But people will strongly disagree with me as a thing, Steve. But for me, since you're asking, yeah, I would say Dave Matthews fell off the hardest for me.
And you know what? Because I remember you wolfing about. You're like, there was once where John Mayer opened for him, and you're like, it was a good concert, right?
Did I say? Did I? I don't. Did I? I don't.
You
think
said
I saw,
you saw John Mayer.
I've seen John Mayer, but I've never seen John Mayer open up for Dave Matthews.
Maybe it's just you saw John Mayer.
Yeah, yeah.
Because I know he opened for. At one point, he was opening for. You had to have gone to that concert tour.
Yeah, but there's like different legs of the tour.
That's true. He was an
I think
unknown.
when I saw them, the Roots opened up.
Oh, that's a great opening band.
So I'm like, yeah, well, one of the times I saw them, I should say. But yeah,
I'm shocked that crowd would rock with the Roots, though.
Oh, well, it's the Roots, though. And then it's also the Roots of like the late 90s.
Oh, with
with Rozelle.
Oh yeah, dude. So and also it's the perfect crowd for that sort of thing there. Because I can only name 5 jam bands. 4. I would say Fish, Ben Folds 5.
Jam band?
Yeah.
I'm not going to argue that one, but I'd have to research a little bit.
Dave Matthews and the Grateful Dead.
Sure.
That's
Anything
it.
Else?
That's all I got.
Yeah, but then they have like the remnants of the Grateful Dead, which is like Bob Weir, and I don't know. I've never been a Grateful Dead fan. I could name maybe 3 songs, and they're all the ones you hear on the radio, and I'm just like, that's cool.
I think jam bands are dead.
I went to a Dead concert one time, but I never.
Did you really?
Well, I never went inside. I went to the parking lot. It was a very, very fulfilling experience.
There's a documentary that I'm going to watch on them. It's but it's a season of like 7 episodes, because I don't understand the love that this group gets. I remember when I was growing up, the only song I knew from them was, because it was a cool video, A Touch of Grey.
Yeah, that's one of those songs. And I think those are the songs where like, no, that's not good, Grateful Dead. And I would be like, okay, cool. I get that. It's commercial.
I like it. It was one of the things that it was in the same time where I got like, oh, look at this Beatle. He has a song I love called When We Was Fab. I never heard of really. I never listened to the Beatles. And then I heard George Harrison's When We Was Fab. And I was like, oh, he's a talented guy. And still never listened to the Beatles. But I like that song. And people were like, well, that's not a real George Harrison. And I get now that I'm into him why they would have said that then. But I loved When We Was Fab. Now it's sad. It makes me tear up.
I got to be honest with you. I've probably heard the song, but I couldn't pull it out of just my, pull it out of my ass. I would have to go, oh,
you'd love it.
One.
You'd love it.
You don't tell me what I would love and what I wouldn't, Steve.
It came out around the same time as I Got My Mind Set on You.
Ooh. I don't like that song. I don't like that song at all.
Okay, which song do you hate worse? That one or
It's gonna take money.
Yeah,
a whole lot of spending money. No.
It's
gonna take a fuckload of money. I don't like that song.
What was that Roy Orbison song that was hot in the 80s?
Anything you want.
Yeah,
you got it.
Which one do you hate worse?
Ooh, I think I'm gonna go with George Harrison's.
What?
Yeah. Well, because like Roy Orbison did it, and it was just like, okay, well, you're just doing Roy Orbison, so that's fine. But I got my mind set
with all the animals like doing it at the same time in that cabin. That was real cool.
Yeah, whatever.
Okay, anyway.
I'm glad you liked it.
We can get into the review if you want.
You want to? Yeah. Hey, real quick before I have to tell you about a movie that I watched this week. And it was an A24 screening that I finally got to see. It's been playing for, I don't know, I think like half of February now. And I finally got to see it. And I don't even have notes on it right here. I should probably pull this shit up real quick. So the movie that I'm talking about is an A24 release, and it is called Minari, directed by Lee Isaac Chung, written by Lee Isaac Chung. This stars Steven Yeun, Yeri Han, Alan S. Kim. You know who Alan S. Kim is? He's like a character actor.
Alan?
No. I'm sorry. What the fuck am I talking about? I'm actually not talking about him at all. I'm talking about Daryl Cox.
How did you even mix up those two names?
I'm looking at the list right now, and you know how when you're looking, hey, I'm not gonna front, dude. I'm totally looking on IMDb right now.
No, I get it, but it was just like his name's either Michael Jackson or Minari
It's
Johansson.
either Carlos.
It's not even close.
I know. And what's funny is I'm still off, but this is the actual person that I'm talking about. Do you know who Will Patton is? He is I know. Shut up.
I'm about to tell like, we're getting off the phone right now if you didn't know who Will Patton was.
He is a character actor, right? Most of the time, he's like a character actor. He's had some bigger parts like in Armageddon and stuff like that. But for the most part, these days, he tends to be more of like a character actor. He's fantastic in this, man. He plays this kind of like a religious guy, this uber religious guy that helps out Steven Yeun. Steven Yeun is a father of this Korean family that are from California, and they moved to, I believe it is Arkansas, to start a new life where he wants to have a Korean farm. He feels like there's going to be a market for that. Korean people want good Korean products, and he's really like gung-ho about this. But his wife, played by Yeri Han, her name's Monica in this, she's really not having it. She was used to living in California. You know that story. You know that old chestnut, Steve. I'm from the city. Why am I going to go live out in the, BFE and grow vegetation? So she's really not on board with it. And then, of course, they have their two kids. And this little kid, man, his name, what the hell is this kid's name? He is going to be a freaking star.
I'm looking at him now.
He's just an adorable little kid. And I think that there's going to be a future for him. But anyway, so they're in Arkansas and they're trying to make it and they're having like these family struggles and whatnot. But then the mother-in-law of Steven Yeun, Jacob, she comes to live with them from Korea. And the kid is just like completely fucking grossed out by grandma. She's like old school, old country. And this kid is just not having it. Mm-hmm. So this story has to do with like her integration into the family and what she brings to the family. It's a very family oriented thing. But Minari comes in, and I don't really think this is a spoiler, but Minari, I guess, is some type of an herb or some type of a vegetation. And she brings this with her and she plants it. And it becomes a part of the story. I'm not going to give you guys any spoilers. This movie isn't even out like mainstream yet, so you can't even stream it. But it's wonderful. I'm just going to tell you that. It's a very, very heartfelt movie. It's got a lot of ups and downs in it. And it's one of those movies where I don't always need a happy ending. And I'm not saying that this is a sad ending, but it's like a bittersweet type of thing that happens with this. I'm just going to tell you guys, without really getting into it, that I absolutely love this movie. I will give it a very strong 4 out of 5. What will I give this one? I'm going to go ahead and give it 4 out of 5 shots of pee, and I'll leave it at that.
Did you cry?
No, not a crying movie for me.
Okay. It
wasn't a crying movie, but it was just something that Gail and I were watching, and we found ourselves being into it way more than we thought we would. I didn't by any chance think it was going to be a bad movie, which is why I try not to like just purposely watch bad movies or things I think are absolutely going to suck.
No.
But I didn't really expect it to be as it's just heartwarming. It's just a really heartwarming movie. And I recommend everyone watch this one when it comes out. So that's Minari, A24, starring Steven Yeun. Now, sorry about my IMDb mix up there, but I'm just being real with you folks.
Now, you would say that this movie's not as good as the Justin Timberlake movie.
No, I don't know if I'd say that, but I would definitely say that the Justin Timberlake movie, Palmer, that one just like broke my tear ducts, bro. I don't know why. I
think you gave that one a 4.5.
I did. I gave it a very high rating, and I stand by that. It was really good.
Okay.
And talk about like great acting kids. That kid was phenomenal. Phenomenal. Yeah.
I can't wait to watch this. I'll pay the $20, G. I'll just borrow it from you and pay it.
You know what? If I could figure out a way, I wanted to, because it would be good if we could like talk about this. I wanted to figure out a way to do that, but without you coming over, it just wasn't going to happen.
Well, it's weird because I went on HBO Max and there was like a button that said, "Would you like to watch this with buddies?"
I think that it would be great for like Justice League.
Oh, dude. You are not ready about the hellfire I'm going to be spitting on that movie, dude. It is going to be trash. Trash.
Listen, I've never been impressed, so I'm not.
But I liked the first. You did not.
It was fine. No, actually, it wasn't even fine. It was subpar.
Yeah, you did not like. But here's what I will say: I am very excited for Ta-Nehisi Coates' run. He's writing the next Superman movie.
Yeah, that's
with
some news.
JJ. Come on,
news.
Dude.
Okay. Now he's producing. He's not directing, right?
Yeah, he's producing.
So, okay, I'm still on board. And even if he was directing, I'd be like, okay, this first one's going to be great.
That's true, dude. That second,
if it becomes a Superman trilogy and it's backed
with a
by
bunch of
JJ,
lens flares, he loves those lens flares, man.
Man, fuck a lens flare. At some point, it's got to stop.
I loved it in Star Trek. Just someone like brought up how many times it happens. Then when I watched the movie again, I was like, oh, yeah.
That is the thing. If it's something where it's not on your radar and you're just like, oh, you won't even really pay attention to it. You'd be like, that movie was kind of stylish, I think. But when someone points it out, it's like when someone points out an annoying thing that someone like someone you talk to every day. And they point out like a weird thing they say, and they say it all the time. And now you're just locked in. And every time they say it, you're like, ugh.
Oh, drives me bonkers. Yes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. That's his lens flare. But I'm looking forward to it. I'm curious as to if Henry Cavill's going to still be in. Because he's ready. He wants to suit up, dude.
I think it's a huge mistake if they don't keep Cavill.
Dude, but it says reboot.
I know. But
and Zach might have his tendrils all through.
Okay, let's play the game.
Contract. Yeah.
Let's play the game. Who would be a great Superman?
Ooh, I love that you asked me that.
You're going to say Taylor Kitsch, aren't you?
I will not. I was going to. It's funny because I told Kevin McKnight, I was like,
by the way, we want Kevin on the show for the Justice League review.
Oh, dude, for sure. We're going back on Twitter like daily, and I was like, hey, man, what about Michael B. Jordan? He said, you think in America, after hearing about slavery, a black Superman will be on the side of America? I was like, oh my God, you're right. He said, there's no way you could write it that would be legit. He would not be like, I'm going to save this. He'll be like, man, I'm blazing everybody in this. He'd be going, I said, you're right.
He's like, you want truth? You want justice? Let me tell you about truth and justice.
He said it wouldn't be real. You would be watching it being like, really? So true. Michael B's out. Black Superman's out. I would say, okay, no Taylor Kitsch, but I would say that you're going to have to get a newcomer that we have nothing to refer him to. There's nothing we'll be like, oh, such and such is Superman. Nope. Someone that you're like, I've never seen them. All I see in them is Superman. That's it. They're Superman now. That's who you have to get.
To be honest with you, that was Cavill for me. I really wasn't familiar with him until Superman.
He's fantastic.
Well, look at this dude. This dude's a specimen. He looks like Superman.
He looks great.
Yeah. And so I think that they are going to make a huge mistake. Like if they replace Cavill, they either just have to come with the best choice whatsoever, because anything below that is going to be a knock. It's just not going to work. I'll give you an example. I don't know if you agree with me or if other people are going to agree with me, but have you seen the Superman on CW?
Yes.
What the fuck?
I think he's dope.
He sucks.
I think a matter of fact, I think he's closer to what Superman is.
He weighs like $125, Steve.
I know, but that's what makes him super. Like, he does not look like he should be. Because technically, if you just have more, if all the difference is the gravity on a planet, that doesn't make you stronger. As a matter of fact, it'll make you weaker because you don't have to use muscle to do anything. It's just easier to do it for you. So technically, that's what Superman would look like.
Whatever. I think you're reaching.
But I would say that you need someone that's not, you have to go a certain way, but he can't be overly like Aryan. You have to at this point be like, okay,
well, what if they just let's just say they got someone that looked close to Cavill, or in the vein of like a Christopher Reeve or something like that. In other words, still a white dude. Is that a problem?
No. I'm saying like he could, like Cavill is a great Superman, but here's the thing, like someone said, there's a billion Superman. We just don't look for them unless you have a friend of a friend of a friend. They're like, if you just have open calls and just like, let's free our minds from what he has to be a superstar. Let's just say, oh, have you ever acted before? If not, so what? Come in. You will run into a lot of people that you're like, wow, he'd make a fantastic Superman. Yeah. He'd be great.
There's a lot of stunning looking people out there, but they're going to have to bring it with them. Superman has to be charismatic. They have to get back to, I don't say they have to copy it, but they have to get back to like a closer to like Christopher Reeve.
Yeah,
that was really hard to say for some reason, but you know what I'm saying? Like,
absolutely.
I think that Christopher Reeve actually embodied what Superman really stood for.
Absolutely.
And like we've said many times, that's my Superman.
That's ours. But also a big deal why Christopher Reeve was so good is because he was kind of not a superstar before that. He walked into the role and just did what he could, and it translated. We need someone like if a buddy, but like, hey, you're a janitor at the local place, and someone walks in and is like, dude, you should totally go to this open call. He would be great. Or he's like, hey, this guy cleaning windows, you look amazing. You should totally go to that open call. Someone that doesn't believe that they belong there will translate that onto screen and be like, what am I doing here? They're like, yeah, that's what you're supposed to feel like. Whereas at this point, it's hard to fake that. It's hard to fake I don't belong here, even though I've been in multi-billion-dollar, these lines of films. It's hard to fake I don't belong here. You need a newcomer so that the I don't belong here is genuine. The imposter syndrome is genuine, where it's like, I'm just doing my best, because that's what Superman is. I'm just doing my best.
I don't think that there are enough good Superman movies. So,
oh no.
So like, and I'll even go with the original Superman, like 3 and 4. I'm sorry. I'm sure some people got some love for them, but those are terrible movies. They're terrible. I'm just going to say it. They're terrible. Like Richard Pryor couldn't save it. And the Search for Peace or Quest for Peace, whatever. Jesus Christ, that was a horrible movie. But Superman 1 and 2, particularly the Donner cut of 2, fantastic. Legendary movies. So, as long as they're just doing something like that and not trying to phone it in.
And here's the thing. I think a staple of a great movie is when the villains are duplicated over and over again in other movies. Like he created a platform for villain. Some villains use that same look nowadays to look evil. You know what I'm saying? The goatee, they look in the movies. The villains look a certain way, dude. I love that.
We'll see, man. I just, anytime I hear, you know what it is? I'm hearing reboot way too much these days.
Oh, it's a reboot.
And I'm losing my faith in Hollywood. There's so much good talent out there that is not getting seen. Even these people that are fortunate enough to make a movie don't get their movies seen by mass audiences. And we keep getting all these fucking reboots.
That's my thing. Like the Zack Snyder cut, $300 million? You couldn't have given that to someone who had a brand new idea.
Yeah. And listen, dude, this is just me. I don't know if you'll share my opinion on this, but like, I just don't think that we should be remaking movies for the sake of representation. Like if you're going to make a movie and you want to have inclusion and things like that, and you want the cast to be more diverse, fantastic. I am all for that. But sometimes I think that it gets lost in translation in some movie. And I'm not going to give you like a reference or anything like that. But I think that some ideas that I hear, I'm like, this is clearly just to make a movie PC and more accessible to other people. But I think that actually waters down the movie.
And you think that just making a brand new, make a brand new thing with these people in it.
Yes, but easier said than done sometimes too.
It's not, but you just said it's not, it's very easy. But like you said, they're giving that money to Zack Snyder. Yeah. They're giving that money to all people that are already doing it. Whereas there's a ton of these people that are like, we have a million ideas that we can do. Just give us an opportunity instead of redoing a movie that no one liked, really. No one is asking for this except a few Reddit weirdos.
Yeah, but going away from like the DC universe or superheroes or anything like that. I mean, this goes into other movies. Let's take the movie Annie, for instance, with Jamie Foxx that just came out not too long ago. Why not? You have a talented cast. Why not make a movie in the vein of that? It didn't have
brand
to be,
new.
It didn't have to be Annie. It could still be like you could even like borrow from the story a little bit. And just have a similar situation like that where a wealthy man takes on this young orphan girl and whatever. Hey, guess what? They love to sing. Sure. But
yeah, why redo it?
Why do it? It bugs me. They're going to do that again with Wizard of Oz. It's going to, I know you don't like Wizard of Oz, but like they're doing that.
I like a version.
I know, but I'm just saying, I'm just saying like, that's the path they're going to go down.
I don't know, dude.
I think that it's a waste sometimes to do that for the sake of diversity when, again, you can just make another movie with an outstanding cast. These people are talented. Put the words in front of them. Put the script in front of them and build a movie around them. I personally couldn't do that. I'm not in the filmmaking business, and I don't even know if I could really effectively make a film. But there are people out there that do this for a living.
How many people would love to? If you gave a random kid that loves movies the opportunity, I promise you he wouldn't make a terrible, when he's like, I think I want to do it like this, and he has someone to be like, we can do it like that and make it even look better. He's like, if you gave him $300 million, he'd make a better film than Zack Snyder. if you gave him $300 million. And I would love a new form where they're like, look, instead of remaking The Wiz so that you're like, oh, you're the Black Dorothy.
Mm-hmm.
Or the Wizard of Oz, and you'd be like, you're the Black Dorothy. Be like, you're a brand new property where it's like, now you're the only one in this property. We're the person you're such and such from that movie. You're not you're this version of that. No, I'm the only one that's played that character through all the sequels. I am the one.
This is a good point. Now, I got to say that if they did that, let's just say the Black Dorothy thing, but now it's somebody else and they're in Oz again and they're having new adventures. I'm still going to be like, okay, I see what you did, but I would appreciate it more than just now I'm the Black Dorothy. For instance, here's another one. Now, I know a lot of people wanted this, and that's fine, and I'm not like bagging it, but this is just my opinion, is that they're going to make another Little Mermaid, and the Little Mermaid is going to be black. Mm-hmm. That's fantastic, but here's the deal. Remember that movie, The Princess and the Frog, the animated movie?
Yes.
So they took the story's been told before, but they took a story that hasn't been Disneyfied. I think I just made a word up. And they made this great story surrounded by surrounding a black cast.
Yes.
In a setting that was, appropriate for it. Not appropriate. What am I trying to say? Like it was Louisiana. Do you know what I'm saying? So like it was just, it all made sense. It just made sense. The culture was there and it just made sense. I just feel like sometimes they do this for the sake of being PC. And I think that it's a loss. And it's, more often than not, these movies don't really make the money that they want them to make. They're just getting this movie out there, but they're not doing better than the other movie, and they're maybe not even succeeding some of the times. I feel like it's a waste, but that's just my opinion. It's probably not it's probably not a popular opinion.
No, I think
it's coming from a place of like not hatred. I just
you want someone to have their own property.
Yeah, for
like
sure.
As in like I'm going to be the only person from this. For me, not to bring it up again, the reason The Wiz was so amazing is because some of us at the time had never seen The Wizard of Oz. So we didn't even know. And also they're like, we're not even going to use the music from this movie.
And
we're making brand new music with Quincy Jones. We're making a brand new thing, but it was still attached to it was so loosely attached that they probably could have called it something else.
Yeah. I mean, that's the thing though. It was like, that was a little bit different because it's like, okay, you've seen The Wizard of Oz, but this is our spin on it. And it's a musical. And for some, like that passes. And on top of that, it really wasn't done all the time either.
No, this was whoa, you guys are taking over, taking on this. And here's the thing. I think that if we had look at Ava. Ava DuVernay she's not like redoing properties.
Yeah.
She's like, I'm owning all of my original stuff. I'm making these new things. Or if I take it from a book, I'm doing this myself. She was in talks to do a superhero film, but oddly enough, creative differences. She was like, And I have a feeling when you get in those offices and they tell you what their plans are, you walk out like, oh, no. Or you have to do it because they're offering you so much money and you're not in a position to say no. But when you're Ava, you can be like, oh no, I'm not going to be that. She hasn't misstepped yet. Where she's like, oh, I'm not going to be that guy. I'm not going to be that woman to do that thing. Not a freaking chance. And even, people were, I'm very eager, look at what Marvel's doing. Marvel, the only reason that they're able to do a lot of this good stuff is because, Stan Lee was like, oh no, a lot of my comics were a commentary on racism. So it's almost a gimme. Like you're kind of giving, it's a perfect thing. You don't have to be like, oh, I'm going to make this style person in this style. No, they're like, we could just cast who was supposed to be cast in it.
Right.
And it's still diverse because it's just the casting, I don't read all the comics, but I know like as soon as they announced it, I was like, well, like Black Panther, that's a strong property, dude. That's a strong superhero property that is diverse. A strong one that they didn't have to, we're going to do a remake and make White Panther black. No, this is just our property. Now, I don't know where they go now. That's the sad part. I don't know what happens now, but that was a thing.
At least they have Coogler.
Yeah, man. But
he makes smart decisions, but he's taking on a task where it's like, you've got one shot,
dude.
You know,
Oh man,
this will. I mean, it won't necessarily make or break the franchise because if Marvel wants another Black Panther movie, they're going to get another Black Panther movie, and guess what? They're going to sell the shit out of those tickets. But really, you got one chance, Coogler.
You got one shot, dude.
What you gonna do?
And
you got
he's
one
good.
shot,
I mean, he's
Coogler.
really-
What you gonna do? Oh, sorry, I was writing a song real quick. You fucked it up. Never mind.
No, I think Coogler's smart only because he's not doing like he's not involved in the new Creed. He's focusing on like two things.
What's
and
the second
Black
one?
Panther's the big one. It's Black Panther and I forgot what the other thing is because I know he finished Black Panther. He's done. He said he wrote it. It's done. And I'm like, that was fast, dude.
Mhm.
But I don't think he does not want to recast Boseman. He doesn't want to recast him.
I don't think they should. I think I think Marvel fans are smarter than that. Do you know what I mean?
I don't know, for sure, but I think they're gonna have to have someone else take.
What about
crown.
Shuri? Oh, well.
No, it's gonna be Homegirl. That's it. She's the only one that can do it. It's gonna be what's her name? Denai Guerrera. That's who's gonna take it.
That's a good one.
She is going. They're gonna be like, because she's not gonna want it. She is gonna say no, my king, no. And they're going to be like, you have to. Do you want us to be overtaken or do you want to take this? And man, when she puts on that suit and she already knows how to fight with her, gee, she'll be ridiculous.
Have you ever seen her in a lead role?
Yeah, she took over the lead role in Walking Dead.
Yeah, but that's not what I'm getting at. I'm talking like a feature film or...
I have not.
Okay, so do you think she has the chops for a lead role?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
That's fair. I really haven't watched enough Walking Dead, especially, the later seasons. So I couldn't honestly give my opinion on that.
And a lot of it is going to have to do with, it's going to be tough because you're going to have to be doing two things. Having an incredible villain, because Killmonger was incredible. He was a villain where you're like, oh, I get it. I get why he's doing what he's doing. I'm on his side, kind of. But having an incredible villain be developed while also trying to transfer the crown, you have to do two things in one movie. That is going to be a juggling act, because Killmonger, for some reason, he's back in the next movie for some reason. I don't know how this is working.
Because he was awesome and they need to figure out a way to get him back into the movie. That's really all it is, Steve.
He was, Michael B. Jordan, dude. He was fan-dagger. I don't think they expected Killmonger to be the star he was.
That's the thing, too. It's like he was on screen a lot in Black Panther, but I still felt like, oh, we need more of that.
We need more. When he said, hey, auntie, I was like, guess who's in? Me.
Hey,
I'm in.
auntie,
Next.
yeah.
Yeah, that was just, and it was a ad-libbed thing that they kept. He just said it, and they're like, oh, we're keeping that.
Sometimes those are the best lines, right?
Those are the best, just like, shoot, dude. Some of the best lines have been ad-libbed. You're totally right. Okay, there's another movie you wanted to talk about.
Okay, so how much of this movie have you seen? This is like a 1.5 review, guys.
Ladies and gentlemen, I saw up to, there's an interesting musical scene in a, not a motel, a hotel.
so we're like maybe 25 to 30 minutes into the movie,
Absolutely.
maybe even less.
Yes.
Okay, so the movie that we're talking about is Barb and Star Go to Vista Del Mar.
Uh-huh.
I'm going to tell you something, man. When I first saw this trailer in the theater, I'm like, this is some ridiculousness. I'm not watching this movie.
Yeah.
I'm just not going to watch this movie. I love Kristen Wiig, but it's like, come on, Kristen, I know what you're trying to sell me. I'm not buying it. So the movie falls into my lap recently. And I got to tell, first of all, before I give my review, Steve, you've seen 25, 30 minutes of this movie. Let's at least get your impression.
Oh, like I was saying earlier, there are some things that you have to understand for certain movies. Austin Powers, you have to be in. Anchorman, you have to be in. Talladega Nights, you just have to be in. If you are not in, you're not going to like those movies because you're going to be, oh, I don't get this thing. This is one of those movies that so far I don't get. I don't understand. And I'm not saying they're doing a bad job or anything like this. What it is, oh, that boat left the shore without you on it. You just don't understand. I'm like, okay, I get it. I just don't understand the movie. I don't understand the comedy they're going for yet. I'm going to still finish it. And maybe it just blows my mind while I'm watching it, but I don't understand their thing quite yet.
Gotcha. Okay. is Rob Forrest still with us?
Yes. I'm
Yeah.
here.
All right. Now you saw this movie, right?
I did.
Would you mind giving me your thoughts on this one? Am I catching you off guard?
No, that's for sure. I loved it. I thought it was freaking hilarious.
Nice. I'm glad there's a third on this one, man, because it's not that I'm disagreeing with Steve or any. Well, I kind of am, but like he hasn't seen the full movie yet, so it's nice to have someone that's actually watched the movie all the way through.
He's right that you got to be in the right mood
For
this
sure.
kind of movie, for sure.
Yeah, this is not for everybody, but like I found this movie or obvious comparisons to Austin Powers to some degree.
Right.
But then there's this whole other silly side, and I'm getting vibes, and I can't figure out what it reminds me of. Like I can say it's original content, but it's reminiscent of something. That type of humor I've seen before. The whole breaking out in the song and just absurd things that happen for no apparent reason whatsoever. Morgan,
there's just a ton of throwaway lines that are just don't really mean anything. They're just there for like quick little witty, stupid humor.
Yeah.
And it's brilliant and it's hysterical.
Oh my God. I mean, I sat down and I started watching this movie and kind of like Steve, I'm like, okay, I know at least I know where we're going now. And like I said, immediately within like the first 3 minutes of the movie, you get that Austin Power reference really quickly. But and I can't put my finger on it, man. I don't know if it's like an Anchorman kind of vibe or what, but whatever it is, this movie sucked me in, man. And like I felt the jokes pretty much all hit to some degree. It just depends. Like you have to like that kind of humor where shit is just coming out of left field and you just kind of have to, you're either going to take it or you're not. But I found myself like gut laughing through this movie.
Exactly.
And
me too.
Yeah. And that's not something that I do all the time. Even with a good comedy, I'll get it. Oh, that was really funny. But it was the absurdity of this movie that had me
it's rare that I actually laugh out loud.
For sure. Yeah. Like guttural laughs, dude. It was, and so I have to give them props on that. It's, this movie is about a couple, you guys. It's not a couple of friends, I was going to say, that they're Barb and Star. They are middle-aged women that have been working in this one store for who knows how long, and that's pretty much their lives. They do. I'm not going to give you the whole movie, of course, but they do everything at this store. They have Thanksgiving dinner at this store. They just it's ridiculous. Again, we're talking about a ridiculous movie. But the store closes down, and this is one of those movies where it's kind of like these two crazy characters are going to go off and like kind of find themselves. They're so codependent that this trip helps them find themselves. And I have to take my hat off to, if I had one, I would take it off to the writer of this movie, because what they did with Barb and Star could have been a disaster. Like the way that this movie goes, there is a point where there's kind of a love triangle. I'll just say that for the purposes of, it's not really a love triangle. And that's the good part about this movie, is that they could have spent the time focusing on just this little love triangle situation and how Barb and Star are doing each other dirty to, for the common goal of, like getting the love, the affection of this particular character. And you think it's going to go that way, but it doesn't go that way. And I really like that. One of the what I think is important about this movie is that it actually focuses on friendship and like the support. Yes, they have some arguments that are kind of silly and everything like that, but all the way through this movie, these two women are like backing each other. And I think that that's like a big part of the charm of this movie, is like they're just their ridiculous amount of love that they have for each other. And of course, they're off doing their own thing and finding themselves. It's not a movie where like I feel these kind of movies, Rob, what would you say about this? Like these are the kind of movies when the jokes are so like rapid fire. It's not a movie where you really want to spoil them, right? Like you don't want to go, yeah, that one joke that happened, because now you've essentially just ruined that joke for someone that's watching the movie.
Can't talk about any of them, even the throwaway ones, you can't really talk about because it ruins it.
Yeah, they're sight gags a lot of the time. They are just there's celebrity actors that are speaking through animals that I'm not going to say who. It's ridiculous. It is an absolutely absurd movie. But that said, I absolutely loved it. It is probably the funniest thing that I've seen this year. I mean, again, we're in February, so I haven't really watched too many comedies, and I do have a high love for Psycho Goreman, but that's not the same kind of comedy. This is
not even close to the same.
No, it's they're two different entities completely. But this is definitely one of those movies where it's like, if I had to and I've been making it a point to write down. I should have been doing this forever, but I've made it a point to write down every single thing I've watched, the month I watched it, the rating I've done, and where I find it, and all that kind of stuff. And what I have so far, Barb and Star is like probably the top. Like I haven't laughed harder yet in 2021.
Oh, absolutely not. I might have to put it at the top of my list for movies that I watched last year too.
Yeah. Well, shit. Yeah. Like
anyway.
True, man. Like it's weird. Like we watched so many movies last year, but I'm glad I have you on, by the way. I'm going to change gears for just a second. But we watched so many movies last year, and I don't know if it was COVID or just like not really feeling it, being kind of foggy, but like I just didn't retain a lot. It was really weird. Like in the years that we've done this show, we've always done a Noisies, and we've recapped all these movies at the end of the year. And Steve and I honestly were like, Steve, tell me if you disagree with this, but we were just kind of like, it has to be 2020 because we didn't have that inspiration to do the recap shows. And more importantly, like Rob's on here, and Rob was very kind. He helped us do a logo for the Noisies that was supposed to happen this year. And we haven't talked about it yet, but Steve and I sat down and we're just like, again, on this vein of just like a weird 2020, do we do it? And we decided that we are not going to do a Noises this year. It wouldn't be as fun. COVID's still going on, Rob. Of course, we can't have the guests that we have. Then it's a large show if you've ever heard it.
Right.
With
I was
thousands.
going to ask you about that.
Yeah.
I've been meaning to text you about that.
Yeah, there are thousands of people that come to the show, and I just don't want to like contribute to the virus. So we decided that we're going to wait until 2021 or 2022 rather, and we'll do that. So it's coming back. We just decided to skip it this year. But anyway, I digress. Loved Barb and Star. I think that if you're a fan of comedy and you like that absurdity, if you are a fan of Austin Powers, you're not going to get a full-on Austin Powers experience, but you'll know exactly why I keep bringing up Austin Powers on this. And I just honestly have not found a comedy yet this year that has made me laugh so hard. So anyone that enjoys comedy, it's subjective, but if you enjoy a good comedy and you like to just laugh out loud, literally, this is the movie for you.
Yeah, just have a few beers and get real chill, and then put this on. You're gonna have a good time.
Yeah, a few beers or whatever. You know what I'm saying? But like, there's something here, stuff that makes you laugh. That's what this movie's good for, guys. So
silly as hell.
Rob, since you're a first time guest, would you like to rate the movie?
Yeah, I rated it on Facebook, but I'll give it the same rating here. I gave it 4 out of 5 parachuting culottes.
That's a good one. I like that. Steve, I guess you can't really rate it yet. You've already kind of given your opinion on it, but since you're 25 to 30 in, I won't even make you like do a reference. What number are you falling on right now?
Oh, I'm not gonna, it's not fair. I wouldn't do that to this movie.
That's fair.
Yeah.
I just like Rob, I'm going to go ahead and give it 4 out of 5 friendship bracelets. Like I just fucking just love this movie, and I cannot tell enough people about it. So if you watch it and you're like, you know what, that wasn't my jam, just know I tried to help you out. And it doesn't mean that you're wrong or anything like that. Again, humor's subjective, but it's just goddamn funny. And it's a movie that left me with like a literal smile on my face. I've watched it twice. I'll probably watch it again just because I want to tell more people about it. But Barb and Star Go to Vista Del Mar is fucking fantastic.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I'm glad you were here, Rob. You got to rate that, man. I know we cut you out for just a little bit there, but you came back in the clutch, bro. All right, Steve. How you doing, buddy?
I got to get out of here, man.
I had a feeling, which is why I asked that question. Fair enough. Hey, guys, real quick before we go, if you want to get a hold of the show, I'm going to save you all the cheesy music. Just go to heroesofnoise.com. All right, www.heroesofnoise.com. There you're going to find all of our shows. You're going to find an email. You're going to find voicemail. You're going to find let's see, links to the Word Still. We've got that. You got merch. We have everything there. It's one-stop shop, www.heroesofnoise.com. And also, we would really appreciate if you guys can send us some iTunes reviews if you're using that format, or even if you don't, you can still go on there. Let the people know what you think about Heroes of Noise. We would really appreciate it. On the website, there's actually a page that shows all of our reviews, and people have been leaving some really kind reviews. So thank to everyone that has done that so far. But yeah, instead of doing the whole wacky music, Steve, I just want to give them the meat and potatoes, bro.
That's it, man. That's
You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
So with that, Steve, do your thing.
Ladies and gentlemen, have a wonderful, awesome, and amazing day. Enjoy yourself. And here's the thing. Here's the big thing. I love, let me say, I love the way that this thing went today. I love the fact that people were able to come in, listen, comment on things. It gave me like butterflies in my stomach. I freaking loved it. I loved seeing Fob Roris in the room. I love seeing Daniel, even though he was in his machine shop, apparently making a freaking Voltron. It was nice to talk to him about, music and such. And I got to get these lightning round questions together because I think I'm gonna do it again one of these days. Anyway, next time during the Patreon episode, I have a quiz for Dan. Until then, I love you guys. Peace.
Oh, a quiz coming up. I appreciate it. Yes, thanks to Rob and thanks to Daniel for coming on. I will tell you that if you buy the VXDEDXV EP, it sounds a lot better than Daniel did today. I'm just fucking with you, Dan. I don't even know if you're still there anymore. But fantastic album, guys. Oh, there he is. There's my guy right there. So yeah, by the way, stick around because after we finish this, we're going to play one of the singles off of his new EP, and it's fantastic. Do you? What was the name of that one again? I'm sorry, I don't have it pulled up, man. Like I told you, I was having trouble pulling up the files.
Frontman.
Frontman, that's it. Frontman is fantastic, featuring the one and only S.E. Hudson. So stick around for that. Guys, thank you very much for joining us. And for the rest of you, my name is Dan. For Steve, we are the Heroes of Noise. You guys take care of yourselves, all right? Be good to yourselves. Be good to the people around you. Peace.
That's one of those sincere Janet Jackson song laughs. We're gonna kick that one. From it. Stupid. Let's go. With so much drama around me, you think it's hard to stick with the X and V, but I somehow, someway, keep coming up with a reason to stay true, like every single day. Now, may I used to be a question I would ask, now I just do it, paying homage to the cats from the past that set the table that we're all eating at. They told me pouring them out and pull their cards if you see it's whack, easy as that. Shit. But you might just lose connections, cause nowadays you gotta do it with protection. They claim to be the plug, but they don't know I'm electric. Yeah, and I stay so respected. It's probably cause the style is so eclectic. I'm bumping these streets like everything is copacetic. I did my own thing and never will I regret it, while the rest are just pathetic, obsessing over aesthetics. Damn.
But I'd rather be myself than just front man. I'd rather take a L than just front man. I'd rather see you late than just front man.
I'd rather be late. Shit, fuck it.
I'd rather see them hate than just front man.
Cause I've been up and down the state and across the country, played a lot of stages, made a little money, did a bunch of things that I thought was tough to do. And I see this new wave, but to me it ain't nothing new. They were like, look at the flick of the wrist. I was like, how could this shit still exist? Cause they're getting their feeling, killing the kids while I'm keeping it real and I can't get big shit. Guess image is a big deal when the substance ain't there. Some cats didn't know they could get boxed up when they fuck with a square. Oh yeah, it's got your man Danny Cabbage with the clotheslines. Ain't tied up on these suits, I play my cards and I won't fold mine. Bro, I'm just trying to let you know that you've been told lies. They call me childish, but I've been woke since 09. Like, did you know the food pyramid you were taught in elementary school was biased? And that drug companies are business to the doctors, their suppliers, giving you free samples to get you hooked. Now they got you wired, so you can't survive without your pills now that you gotta retire. And that's too deep. That's too deep. That's too deep. That's too deep.
But I'd rather be myself than just front man.
Shit.
I'd rather take a L than just front man. I'd rather be late than just front man. I'd rather see them hate than just front man.
What I must, no matter what I said I do.
But I'd rather be myself.
No matter
than just
what, I
front
go
man.
for broke. Yeah, no matter what, and go for broke.
I'd rather take
Yeah,
a L
no matter
than just
what I
front
prove.
man. I'd rather be late than just front man. I'd rather see them hate than just front man.
No, over here. Listen to what I'm saying. I'm the front man. Everybody do what I'm saying. Because I'm the front man. No, stand up. No, sit down. No, get up. Move. Front man. That's me. I'm the front man. No, I'm the front man. Listen to me. I'm the fucking front man. I'm up here in front. Hold on, I got my leg up on the kick. Now on the monitors. Now I got my legs on all the monitors. Fuck your monitors, bro. I'm the front man. Front man. You better. It's fire.